Hi, my name is Sherry Clark. I'm the resident coordinator here in Pine Manor. Pine Manor is a United Way house and a job link center for Goodwill. Some of the services that we provide here are we help people with looking for jobs, unemployment, food stamps, Medicaid, pretty much anything that a client needs, and if I can't help them, I refer them to who can. We also right now are providing navigator assistance for the Obamacare. That's here every week. We have an after-school program for the elementary age kids, and a teen program for teenagers 11 to 18 years old. We have a culinary kitchen, and we have a community garden that is for all the residents in Pine Manor. In order to take the produce from the garden, they have to do at least 2 hours every week in the garden, helping grow the plants, and then they can go and they can take it out. The reason why we started the garden is because this community is considered a food desert, which means there is no, it's hard to get to a grocery store from this community because a lot of our members here do not drive, so they have to rely on the bus system, and the closest grocery store is Publix, which is about 3 miles north of here, and the Walmarts are by about 40 minutes by bus. So the closest stores that they have within walking distance are convenience stores, which are located right on US 41, and they don't have a lot of fresh food. So that's why we decided to have a garden here to provide fresh produce for our residents. I also run a food bank here, so any extra produce that we have, we're also using in our food distributions. Our plan to grow and expand, we actually have an empty lot across the street from the garden that's in between our community center and and Hunter Park, which is overgrown and nasty. We're actually in planning stages of hoping to buy that so we can expand our food forest over there, clean that lot up and expand the food forest over there, and provide a safe path from the community center to the park.
My name is Arlo Simons, and I'm the garden coordinator here at Pine Manor. I got started here at the garden in spring 2015 while I was still attending FGCU. While I was at FGCU, I was a service learning coordinator for the service learning department, primarily organizing students at the FGCU Food Forest. And through my work at the Food Forest, I met a number of different really great people who interact with this community, one of which was James Frazier, who's the executive chef over at the RHM department, or the Resort Hospitality Management department. And he has a great interest in local food, the food movement in general, and what we were doing over at the Food Forest. And so I developed a pretty great relationship with him through the Food Forest, and he told me about his project here at Pine Manor. He has a nonprofit organization called the International Culinary Awareness Resource Education, and it's a nonprofit that seeks to create culinary institutes in underprivileged communities, socioeconomically depressed communities, giving them an opportunity to get skills and really engage themselves in in the food industry. So he told me about that. He told me about the project, about the garden space, and about the plots that the families have. And he really wanted me to get involved. So I utilized my position as service learning coordinator while I was still attending FGCU in order to coordinate volunteer events here at the garden, and establish a garden space, or a market garden, organic garden that would be in support of the Culinary Institute, so that we could grow food for those courses. And since that spring, it's morphed into a position for me, into a part-time position. Hopefully moving forward we'll be able to write some grants and get it to be full-time. But currently I work in that same space that I established with the volunteers in spring, and I've also begun a little agroforestry, little permaculture, food forest style project here on site as well. So that's going to be developing in the future as well. This has been a really tremendous opportunity, and more importantly a privilege for me to be able to do this work outside of school. My entire time at FGCU was spent working around food, working around the food movement, and working around social justice issues that are around food. I started the Real Food Challenge campaign with a group of students on campus, which was a campaign to try and get more local food, more real food, quote unquote, on our campus dining system. And of course I also worked with the Food Forest from the beginning, so to be able to take my skill sets and take my passion that I got from the university and bring it into this community has been a total privilege for me, and I really look forward to working further here.
An important thing to remember about food justice is that it's not very common in less affluent communities.
There's not a lot of access to nutritious food.
And the people of those communities often work in the food system, and their employers generally take advantage of them.
That's why we decided to help build a market garden within Pine Manor, a disadvantaged community right here in Fort Myers.
So we originally set out to build up the food forest there at Pine Manor with some native plants.
But we didn't get the funding that we hoped for, so instead we decided to help expand their market garden with our community partner Arlo.
We ended up adding 2 new rows to their market garden that can be used to help fund the culinary school in Pine Manor.
We planted 2 varieties of tomatoes, some cabbage, and tons of sunflowers.
We also got elbow deep in some soil to pick some pretty dope purple sweet potatoes.
And that's not the best part, we also got pretty sweaty sheep mulching in the food forest.
This project was really fulfilling for us because we got to see and do a lot of cool things. We got to interact with a lot of the community members as they came in to tend to their own plants. It's also really nice to think that the market garden that we helped to expand could fund the culinary school and get some of these disadvantaged people of the community into the job market. But maybe the best part was getting to taste the delicious food that we helped grow. We were really excited to work with the kids in the Pine Manor After School program. Seeing them have fun in the garden and laugh with us was really inspiring. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get waivers signed to film them.